Hey trackies, welcome back to another video. Please remember to smash that subscribe button, hit the like button as well. That's how the video gets to the YouTube algorithm. Share the video if you care. I hope you all care, so share and sound off in the comment section below. The NCAA Division 1 Outdoor Track and Field Championships. Let's start with our men and how they did in the finals. Now, of course, by our, I mean Jamaican. Right now, let's start with the big one, the big men in the discus throw. Ralford Mullings did a big one here, trackies, where he took down his longtime rival and world record holder, Nicholas Aletna, to take the win. Absolutely epic. Now, Ralford Mullins threw a 69.31 meters, a personal best, and a meeting record to win. And it wasn't a small gap, trackies, because Nicholas Aletna could only manage a 66.77 meters for second. Now, I say only because he is a massive thrower. As I said, world record holder with a 75-meter throw. So he's the best out there when it comes to the discus throw. But Ralford Mullins managed to take him down at this particular meeting. Now, trackies, they have a long history together. Now, interestingly, they have competed per World Athletics 10 times together. And of those 10 times, trackies, Nicholas Aletna has never lost to a Ralford Mullins. This is Ralford Mullins' first time taking down Nicholas Aletna. But trackies, one thing they don't account for on this particular website for World Athletics is them competing together from the under 20 days. Yes, it seems as though all the matchups that they have is for these two athletes competing as seniors from a collegiate perspective and clearly representing for their countries at games. As I said though, trackies, there's no account for them competing at the junior ranks. But they've actually been competing since then from the under 20 championships, trackies, where Ralford was also second to Nicholas from their youth days, from their under 20 days. So as I said, he has never taken down a Nicholas Aletna, and it's really exciting to see him grow in the throws and take down his longtime rival trackies for the first time with a massive personal best. And I could definitely feel his intention, trackies, because after the conference championships or the qualifications, I believe, I did go over to Ralford's page and, took a look to see what he was going on with. And trackers, let me just tell you, he had no posts up outside of what was happening from the Olympic Games. I believe that was the last post he made from a discus throw perspective. And I was like, listen, this man is hungry. He's determined. He doesn't want to just throw up, conference championships wins. He wants to make sure that when he's putting up a win on his page, it's the big one, the NCAA championships. That's what he wants. He's never beaten Nicholas Aletna, from that perspective. And trackies, I'm excited that, his hunger, his determination, and of course his hard work has paid off. Massive win for him. I'm looking forward to seeing these two young men duke it out again at the World Championships coming up. And of course, Jamaica is doing it massive. Of course, we have the Olympic champion in the discus throw, and seeing young Ralford Mullins not only representing last year at the Olympic Games, but I'm sure this year again he'll be on the plane to represent Jamaica at the World Athletics Championships coming up in September. So of course I'm excited to see what will happen in this particular event. Now we also had another Jamaican, Raquel Broderick, in the event. He represents USC. So Ralford Mullins represents Oklahoma. We had Raquel Broderick representing USC, and he threw a personal best track is 63.31 meters for fourth place. So track is big things going on for our throwers, our field events athletes. They're coming out in a big way. I'm so excited to see the growth, in this event. And yes, track is we're growing from strength to strength. Exciting things happening there. Now, trackies, let's jump over from the field into some track action. Let's touch on the men's 800 meters. We had two representatives there, trackies. We had Tyrese Taylor and we had Rivaldo Marshall. And for me going in, we stood the strongest possibility of walking away with a win here because Tyrese Taylor in the semifinal ran a massive personal best, 1 minute 45.23 seconds to go into the finals with the fastest time. Now, this comes on the heels off from a Jamaican perspective, Navaski Anderson shattering his personal best and, of course, national record, running at 1 minute 44.61 seconds. Very, very exciting news for Team Jamaica. So, watching these collegiates, I was like, oh my gosh, Navaski has some more athletes that are coming up that are looking to represent with him at the World Championships. Of course, they themselves have to meet the standard, the qualification standard, which is in the 1 minute 44s. That being said, track is really, really excited for these young athletes coming up. And as I said, we stood a strong, strong shot of walking away with a win in the men's 800-meter finals. Well, in the finals, track is unfortunately it wasn't to be for us. Rivaldo Marshall ended up third, and he ran a 1 minute 71 seconds, with Tyrese Taylor finishing eighth. He ran a 1 minute 47.44 seconds. Now, the 800 meters are the distance events track is they're very, very tactical. And one thing you can't do is get boxed in. And I believe that Tyrese Taylor got boxed in the event. And as such, track is was unable to run his best race, in my opinion, leading to that, eighth place finish, 1 minute 47.44 seconds. For Rivaldo Marshall, he definitely ran a smarter tactical race. He definitely kept himself out of the entanglement or potentially being boxed in, and as such had a better result than Tyrese Taylor in this race, 1 minute 46.71 seconds for third. Now, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing these athletes come out at our national championships, and hopefully we can see Navaski Anderson pull these guys to faster times, and hopefully they'll be able to get to the qualification standard that will make them head off to the World Championships to represent Jamaica in that distance. Excited for it. Track is not the events that you're typically seeing us dominating, that we are, having in the finals and definitely placing high. No, no, no. It's the field events. It's long distance. Jamaica is coming through as a real track and field powerhouse. I can't wait to see, the next 2 or 3 years what Jamaica's track and field team will look like. That being said, Jackies, let's jump over from that event into the men's shot put, where we had Kobe Lawrence in the event. Trackies finished fourth, where he threw a personal best, 20.32 meters for the win. So we have these athletes, Trackies, coming out and giving off their best, pulling out their best, and he, came out with his best, Kobe Lawrence, and that was good enough for fourth place. We can't ask for anything more. Excited for these young men in the throws, and I'm excited for Kobe Lawrence as well in the men's shot put. Jumping on over from the men's shot put, let's jump into the men's triple jump, where we had Luke Brown track is finishing fourth here as well, and he jumped out to a 16.18 meters. The field events are killing it. Now, the final event track is that I want to touch on is the men's 110-meter hurdles, where Jamaica also had a strong shot of having a high place in here in the event track is. Now, going in, we saw Demario Prince take his semifinal round, definitely looking quite smooth. However, in the finals track is, it wasn't to be again for Team Jamaica, where we had Demario Prince finishing fifth in the race, and he ran a 13.44 seconds. Jaheim Stern was seventh, and he ran a 13.57 seconds. Now, what I would say is the undoing for Jamaican athletes is definitely, clean hurdling. Definitely wasn't the cleanest race for Demario Prince. He hit a number of hurdles trackies, and that pretty much took him out of vying, for the win with Jacoby Tharp. I definitely thought going in that Jacoby Tharp was the absolute favorite, though Kendrick Smallwood has been running good all season. I definitely think from a physical perspective, he has a more imposing body, Jacoby Tharp, than a Kendrick Smallwood. And I was like, once Jacoby gets it right, I don't think there is anybody that's really going to be defeating him, at least for this year, from an NCAA perspective. He took the win here, a new personal best, 13.05 seconds. Not surprised at all. However, I definitely think that, Demario Prince, Jaheim Stern, once they clean up their hurdling, because it was the same story for Jaheim Stern as well, hit a number of hurdles trackies and really took them out of, vying for top placings in the men's 110-meter hurdles. But guess what? Our senior championships is right around the corner. They have the opportunity to compete with Olympic, winners, and of course, world championship medalist trackies. So I'm really, really excited to see how these young, up and coming athletes will compete. And of course, allow their confidence to grow and build so that the next time around they find themselves in this position at the NCAA Outdoor Division 1 Championships finals, they'll be able to execute their best race. I remember seeing Jerome Campbell as well. He was in, the semifinal round, didn't make it into the finals, took himself out, after hitting the fourth hurdle. Was really tough to see for him. But he's another one trackies that we're looking out for when it comes to, heading off to trials. But yeah, that's it from a male perspective at the NCAA Division 1 Outdoor Track and Field Championships. Overall, trackies, these are a bunch of young athletes that are coming up. I'm especially intrigued by seeing our field event, performers. And of course, trackies, looking out for our consistent performances in the men's 110-meter hurdles. Excited for these young athletes coming up. And a big, big congratulations to them and their performances at the NCAA Division 1 Outdoor Track and Field Championships. Let me know your thoughts. Like the video, of course, and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.